guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I got out of my debt. Okay, if you've watched the trending K-drama lately called The Squid Game, you know that one thing that all the players have in common is they are all in enormous debt. In this video, I am going to share with you my experience on how I got out of the debt without playing the deadly squid game. Okay, first of all, disclaimer, I am not a finance person, so this is not like coming from an expert, but this is more of an experience that I've got. So please correct me if I make a mistake, if there's something more that you know about financial, because this is actually just sharing. Okay, talking about debt, I think it doesn't matter who you are and what your backgrounds are. We are kind of vulnerable if talking about debt. If we see from the series, the Squid Game series, there are so many characters with different background. For example, Song Gi-hun. We all know that he has a nice character, but he has a gambling problem. That's what makes him in a huge debt. And we have Cho Sang-woo. He's actually a head of finance, but also caught up in the debt because he was tricking his customer. And we have Kang Se-byuk and Ali, who has problem with families. They need to provide their families and all the background. And we have Jang Dok-soo. He's a gangster with a gambling problem. And also Han Min-yo, the one that a single mother. So anyway, all of us are very vulnerable in death. That's what happened to me a long time ago. So it's not happening recently. That's why I can share my experience nowadays here. How do I get out of my debt? First of all, you need to realize that you have a problem. That is actually the number one thing. If you are still in denial, you think you're okay, you think that, oh, it's okay, my credit card, just like my credit card's there, I still can pay minimum and whatever, and without realizing it, your debt is getting more and more. So I think the first thing that you need to know is realizing that we have a problem. That's what I realized. So when I realized that, I quickly put a break. So I put step backward and think about, oh, how did my debt get this much? And then I started go through all of the items that I bought and this and that, and finally admitting that I do have a problem and I need to stop. I think that is the first thing. Okay. Second thing is knowing my weakness. For example, for me, my weakness is actually impulse buying. And I think everybody has their own vulnerable moments or times when, you know, you just cannot, you just have to do this, you just have to go out and buy something, stuff like that. For me, it's more of a online shopping. Like I like to watch the Instagram live for the live sale, and I had a few of marketplace in my phone. So that's it. I know my weakness. So as soon as I realized, I quickly deleted all of the apps that I usually went to. So there are some apps that I just close my eyes and just delete completely. So for a few months, I don't even open any shopping apps. And when I go to Instagram, I just flick through whatever post they have in there in the feed without looking at the beginning, at the top where everyone's live and doing live sale. That is what I do. So I'm eliminating all of the temptation. That is what I do for number 2. Okay, for number 3, I started selling my luxury items. So, as heartbreaking as it could be, I just have to do it in order to fund and pay for all the bills. I ended up selling a lot of my stuff. Luckily, I bought a few items that it ended up become classic, and I got my money more than I actually paid for. So, so this is a good thing about buying luxury items. So we can sell those items whenever we want to, whenever we need to. And if you are holding the classic, you know that it will hold the value more. That say, moving on to number 4, this is just a tips that I learned. Just don't buy items that are seasonal. For example, it's very trendy, it's very hot items, because usually seasonal items are not becoming classic. So in few years time, they will be out of style. So you know that the resale value for those will be lower. If you watch my recent video, you know that I bought the Louis Vuitton Christmas animation. I think that was the only seasonal items that I bought. If you've noticed, if you've been following me, I've never bought any seasonal items. I've never bought any Louis Vuitton Christmas animation other than last year and this year. The reason is because I just love Vivian so much. So that is also my weakness. I just love Vivian. So that is my reason why I bought the Christmas animation for last year and this year, just because of the Vivian. But if maybe next year, if they do not come out with any Vivian Christmas animation, I'm not sure that I'm going to buy it. But I don't know. I don't know what comes out next year. But looking from the previous year, where Louis Vuitton have the Christmas animation, I'm never tempted to buy any of it. So for number 5, I started paying my debt one by one. I think I used the method, the debt snowball, where I paid the lowest balance, or the lowest payment that I have to pay. So I had like few credit cards, and each credit card will have different amount. So at that moment, I just pay off whatever the cheapest I paid off first, and the rest I just do the minimum payment. And I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do any minimum payment. And luckily nowadays I never pay minimum payment anymore. I just pay fully. So I'm very relieved. I'm out of this kind of debt. But that's what I did before. So what I did is I paid the cheapest balance first, and then that means I'm free from that credit card bill for the next month, and then so on and so on. And then that's how I ended up paying all of my credit card debt, by doing it 1 month at a time. It doesn't happen like 3 months in a row. It took time for me to finally finish and cover all, but it gets there slowly. And I've heard about the debt avalanche, where you pay the biggest interest fee first, then the moving on to the slowest. But at that time, I don't know about this method. I just do whatever makes sense to me, the cheapest, and just pay first, and that's exactly what I do. So if I have any advice, please just do this 5. Please let me repeat. You have to realize that you have a problem and you want to fix it. You need to put a break and start thinking about something. Number 2, you have to know your weaknesses and try to eliminate all of those that will tempt you in the future. Number 3, if you can start at selling something. And in my case, because I started selling something, I ended up opening my consignment shop, which I do online. So that is keep going on until now, owning the consignment shop. And number 4, please do not fall for the seasonal items because it doesn't hold in value. And number 5, try to pay whatever you can first. I think that is my experience in getting out of debt, and I don't have to pay the deadly Squid Game like all of those characters in the film. But luckily I'm still here, and at the moment I'm financially better than before, so that I can share this experience with you. Thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you like this video, and please subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up. See you next time. Bye.